Hello and welcome to Rethinking Jesus. My name is Danny, and today I'm going to be talking about question number 2 in a 10-part series I'm doing, where we're going to be looking at these 10 questions. And you ask, why these 10 questions? Well, easy. Because these are 10 questions that really are never thought about, especially by the Christian religions. But if we think about it, these questions have the power to shift our entire understanding of what Christianity is and who Jesus was, why he came, and how we can shift the reality or the consciousness of the world that we all are experiencing today. So today's question is the second one, and it's, can we follow Jesus outside of any organized religious institution? And the answer is absolutely. I do, and I found a lot of other people now who are experiencing the same thing, where we set aside all of the doctrines and dogma that divide us and we have to fight over, and traditions and rituals of the Christian systems, and we just go by the red letters of Jesus, like in the Sermon on the Mount. And it's very empowering to do. So maybe the question I should be asking actually is it possible to really follow Jesus when we belong to an organized religious belief system? Well, of course you can, but it's a lot harder, and I'll explain why. Well, first of all, what does it mean to follow Jesus? Does it mean to believe doctrines about Jesus or to do the things that he actually told us to do? Does it mean joining a Catholic or Baptist or Mormon or one of 40,000 other Christian denominations and religions worldwide? Does it mean to accept the beliefs of the church fathers who told us that because of Adam and Eve's encounter with a talking snake, we were born guilty with a sin nature, destined for hell, and Jesus had to come and die for us? And if we believe that story and we enter into a organized groupthink, a religious groupthink, and don't ask questions and don't rock the boat, and we go along with everything they tell us and pay our tithes and give them our energy, well, we'll go to heaven when we die. And that is the official state-sanctioned story of Jesus that was set in stone in the 4th century and forced upon our ancestors under penalty of death when the Roman Empire, the state, jumped in bed with the Catholic Church in order to unify and thus control the minds of the masses. And all down through the centuries, this story has been used by the elites to unify and control the minds of the people. And emperors, kings, and presidents have all used it to build and sustain their empires from we the people who willingly go and fight their wars for them and build their empires for them. And this is based on guilt because we were born that way. Remember Adam and Eve. Shame. I mean, we should be ashamed because we put Jesus on the cross. Fear, this angry God that's portrayed in the Old Testament, and unworthiness because, oh my gosh, there is none righteous, no, not one. We're separate from God and all of that stuff. This is BS. This is a belief system. So here is why it is much easier to follow Jesus outside of an organized religion and much harder when you belong to the religion. And the phrase belonging to the religion is very accurate and descriptive. See, if we want to follow Jesus, that means we just go by what he said right here in the red letters. You know, things like forgive, love one another, treat others as you want to be treated, let the greatest serve the weakest, do not repay eye for eye, evil for evil, be the light of the world. Things like that. There's not really anything religious about it or that belongs to Christianity. And if we do this, you can't build empires. You can't build empires you can't have hierarchies from the teachings of Jesus. You need the whole Bible. And when we get the whole Bible, most people are just, my goodness, this is so huge. Whereas this is little and easy, but it gets lost in here. But if we want to become a Catholic or a Mormon or whichever Christian religion, we first, in essence, must vow our lives to accept, believe, and defend the beliefs of the religion. And now we're a member of like-minded believers, and we judge ourselves as we're the true children who know God, and we judge everybody outside of our religion as they're the false believers, the unsaved, the infidels. And this divides humanity into us versus them. But there is no difference between a Protestant and a Catholic, or a Jew and a Muslim, or a Jehovah's Witness and a Mormon, except for the beliefs that we have accepted as our truth and reality and has become our identity, and now we have to fight to defend. And all through history, the elites who run the systems, the ones at the top, have used these, and we're seeing today through the Epstein files that these people are often devil-worshipping pedophiles. They have used our religious programming that divides us so that we fight wars against one another. And this is the exact opposite of everything that Jesus taught and gave his life to bring us. But since I don't belong to a religion anymore, I don't have to believe the doctrines, so I'm not divided from anybody by doctrines. Today I have friends from a lot of different religious beliefs and backgrounds. But it's not like we debate over, you got to believe my doctrine. No, it's about, if I do you no harm and I treat you the way you would want, or I would want to be treated, and you reciprocate, we can love and we can be together, and our love and our shared humanity will overcome our division and doctrine. And Jesus said this is all we have to do. He said to treat the others as we want to be treated. That's the golden rule, and it fulfills all the law and the prophets. And what he was saying, that would tear down the whole sacrificial system, the priest, the temple, everything. Because back in the Old Testament, they were going to the temple. Oh, I've sinned, so I have to take a goat or a sheep to be sacrificed for the priest. And it was a money-making machine, the temple was. And Jesus said if we just do that one thing, it fulfills all the law and the prophets. So we don't need religion anymore. And when we get to where we're not divided by religion, we evolve to unity, to oneness, and we're right now the systems are being exposed and shaken and everything's falling apart. But I think ultimately it's so that we can break free from our mental programming. This brings up a lot of stuff in us, and when we know how to use it, we can let go of our doctrines and beliefs. And if you can imagine, if we took all the money that we're spending on armies and war and fighting and killing each other and put that to the good of all humanity, what kind of a world we could have that would work for everybody. So that is how and why I can follow Jesus outside of any organized institution, and why it's very hard to truly follow just Jesus of the Gospels if we have to follow the whole entire Bible and all of Christian doctrine and dogma. So check out my next video. It's going to be, are Christ and Christianity the same, or are they two different things?